Right now, there's a 6-year-old somewhere staring at their bank account with $340 left until payday. They've got a master's degree. They did everything society told them to do. And they just skipped lunch for the third time this week. I'm Zen, and what I'm about to show you will make you question everything you were taught about success. Picture this. You're fresh out of school, scrolling through your phone, and you see it. An automated payment notification. $890 just vanished from your account. Your student loan servicer took it before you even woke up. You've got 12 days until your next paycheck. Your fridge is almost empty, and you're doing that thing we all do when we're stressed, opening your banking app over and over like the numbers might magically change. This isn't a rare story. This is millions of people, right now, today. I want to introduce you to someone. Let's call her Maya. She represents about 45 million Americans who are living this exact nightmare. And her story starts the same place yours probably did, in a guidance counselor's office when she was 17 years old. The promise they sold us. Maya's sitting there, junior year of high school. There are posters everywhere showing cap and gown celebrations, people hugging, confetti in the air. Everyone looks rich and happy and successful. And the adults in the room, the people she trusts, they all say the same thing. You need college to succeed. Don't worry about the price tag. Loans are normal. Everyone does it. You'll make it all back and more. So she believes them. Why wouldn't she? Her parents believed it. Her teachers believed it. Every TV show, every movie, every Instagram post showed college as this magical place where you figure out your life and come out winning. Nobody told her the fine print. Nobody showed her the math. Nobody said, hey, this might actually ruin your 20s and 30s. She signs the papers. She picks something that sounds employable, let's say communications. 4 years later, she's got the diploma. She's also got $87,000 in debt. And now she's sitting in her car in a grocery store parking lot, calculator app open, trying to figure out if she can afford to eat this week. The real numbers nobody talks about. Here's what they don't show you in those glossy college brochures. A 4-year degree at a public in-state school now costs over $110,000 all in. Out of state, you're looking at $185,000. Private universities? Try $230,000. Let me put that in perspective. That's a 4-bedroom house in Texas. That's a Tesla and a down payment on a condo. That's retirement savings that could compound for decades. And you're spending it on Zoom lectures and a piece of paper. The average graduate walks away with $30,000 in debt. But averages lie. Over 3 million Americans owe more than $100,000. Some owe over $200,000. The total? By $1.75 trillion. That's bigger than the entire economy of Canada. What that debt actually does to your life. Let me walk you through Maya's monthly reality. Because this is where the dream implodes. She graduated 3 years ago. She landed what everyone called a good job, $54,000 a year in marketing. Sounds decent, right? Here's her monthly budget. After taxes, she takes home $3,500. Student loan payment, $780. Now she's at $2,720. Rent for a tiny 1-bedroom because she's 26 and tired of roommates, $1,200. Down to $1,520. Car payment, insurance, gas, $480. Down to $1,040. Groceries, utilities, phone, internet, just the essentials, $700. She's left with $340. $340 for an entire month. For everything else, that's supposed to cover savings. What savings? Retirement, laughable. Healthcare copays, car repairs, going out with friends, dating, a life. And that's assuming nothing breaks. The month her laptop died? Credit card. The month she needed new tires? Credit card. Her brother's wedding in another state? She lied and said she had to work. Truth is, she couldn't afford the flight. She's 26 years old. She did everything right, and she's slowly sinking. The long-term devastation. Let me show you what this looks like over time. Because it's not just a few tough years, it's decades. At 28, her friends who became electricians or learned to code are buying their first homes. Maya's still renting. Still can't save for a down payment. At 32, they're getting married, having kids, building families. She's on her third "maybe we should just be friends" conversation because dating costs money she doesn't have. At 36, they're funding college savings accounts for their children. She's still making payments on her own education. At 44, she makes her final payment. 21 years. Half her adult life for 4 years of school. And here's the kicker. If you borrowed $80,000 at standard rates, your monthly payment is around $920 for 10 years. Over the life of that loan, you pay back $110,000. You just gave them $30,000 in pure interest. At $150,000 in loans, which is common if you went to grad school or a private university, you're paying $1,700 a month. On a $54,000 salary, that's literally half your paycheck gone every month for a decade or more. You took on this debt when you were 17. You'll be paying for it when you're 40. The system isn't broken. It's working perfectly. Now, here's what makes this so insidious. College costs have increased 169% since 1980. Not 20%, not 50%. 169% after adjusting for inflation. End quote. In 1980, you could work a minimum wage summer job and pay for a year of state college. Today, you'd need to work full-time at $22 an hour for the entire year to do the same thing. The game changed. The advice stayed the same. And what are you actually getting for that money? The big selling point. College grads earn 75% more over their lifetime. Sounds amazing. Until you realize that average includes the MIT engineer making $160,000 at Microsoft and the philosophy major making $35,000 as a barista. Both are college graduates. Both count in that average. The variation is everything. Engineering grads start around $77,000. Computer science grads around $82,000. But education majors? $46,000. That, psychology? $44,000. Liberal arts? $42,000. Maya, with her communications degree, started at $48,000. She borrowed nearly $90,000 to make what a Costco assistant manager makes. No shade to Costco, they actually have better benefits. And here's the stat that should be plastered on every college website but isn't. 28% of bachelor's degree programs deliver negative ROI. 1 in 4 students would be financially better off if they'd never gone. A theater degree from NYU, negative $568,000 lifetime return. A computer engineering degree from Georgia Tech, positive $2.1 million. The gap between best and worst outcomes is $2.7 million. That's the difference between generational wealth and generational poverty. And we're asking 18-year-olds to make this decision. The underemployment crisis. But wait, there's more pain. 52% of recent college grads are underemployed 1 year after graduation. That means they're working jobs that don't require a degree. Starbucks baristas with bachelor's degrees. Target cashiers with $65,000 in debt. 10 years later, 43% are still underemployed. And here's the brutal part. Of those who start underemployed, 79% never escape it. Only 31% of recent grads landed full-time jobs in their field. Criminal justice majors? Are. 68% underemployed. Performing arts, 64%. These people followed the rules. The system just shrugged. What Maya could have done instead. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. College doesn't just cost tuition. It costs 4 years of not earning money. And one 8-year-old working full-time makes about $32,000 a year. Over 4 years, that's $128,000 in lost income. Add Maya's $87,000 in loans, and the real cost of her degree is $215,000. If she'd invested that in a basic index fund at 18, by age 40, it would be worth $1.4 million. She didn't just spend money. She spent decades of compound growth. She traded potential millionaire status for a piece of paper and a payment plan. The alternatives nobody talks about. So what could she have done? Trade schools cost $5,000 to $15,000 total. Electricians earn a median of $62,000, but experienced ones easily clear 6 figures. HVAC technicians, $57,000. Median, $90,000 plus with their own business. Elevator mechanics, $99,000. Median. And they start earning at 19 or 20, not 22. Or apprenticeships you get paid to learn. Apprentices start at $19 hour and finish at $34 hour. Post-completion salaries, $72,000 to $80,000. Lifetime earnings premium, $350,000 over non-apprentices. With zero debt, coding boot camps cost about $14,000. Grads typically start at $62,000 to $68,000. It's not the instant 6 figures promised during the pandemic, but it's solid for a fraction of the time and cost. Even certifications can change your life. Google Career Certificates, $300. AWS Solutions Architect Cert leads to $125,000 plus salaries with experience. Entry-level IT support, $48,000, starting with zero college debt. The market rewards skills, not credentials. Why the system won't fix itself. So why does this keep happening? 3 reasons. Administrative bloat, the amenities arms race, and federal loans working exactly as designed. Administrative bloat. Between 1993 and 2009, universities hired administrators 39% faster than faculty. Yale has more administrators than undergrads. You're paying for bureaucrats who never teach you a single thing. Amenities arms race. LSU built a lazy river that cost students a 20% fee increase. Missouri spent $35 million on a rec complex inspired by the Playboy Mansion. They're building luxury resorts and calling it education. Federal student loans. The government guarantees unlimited borrowing. When students can borrow infinite money, schools have zero incentive to control costs. Research proves this. For every dollar of federal aid available, universities capture 60 cents through tuition hikes. Universities are hedge funds with classrooms attached. Harvard's endowment, $53 billion. They could offer free tuition forever from investment returns alone. Instead, they charge $82,000 a year. Why? Because they can. Because the government guarantees your loans. Because you'll sign. And the cracks are forming. Here's the good news. Things are starting to shift. 25 states eliminated degree requirements for government jobs. Google, Apple, IBM, Bank of America dropped requirements for huge portions of their workforce. Job postings requiring bachelor's degrees dropped 9% between 2021 and 2024. But there's a catch. Harvard Business School found that fewer than 1 in 700 new hires actually benefited from these policy changes. Companies announced it for PR, then kept hiring the same way. It's theater for now, but the cracks are real. what you should do. Stop treating college as default. Before you commit $180,000 and 4 years of your life, answer these. What specific degree am I getting? What specific school? What's the all-in cost? What do graduates actually earn? What percentage get jobs in their field? How much debt will I have? Can I afford the monthly payments on my likely salary? What else could I do with this time and money? If you're studying engineering or computer science at an affordable state school, the math probably works. If you're studying communications or sociology at a private school for $240,000, the math absolutely does not, unless you're wealthy and treating college as an experience, not an investment. The brutal truth. The system persists because incentives are misaligned. Universities profit regardless of outcomes. Government guarantees unlimited borrowing. Employers use degrees as cheap filters to reduce applicant pools. Students keep signing because they've been told since age 5 they have no choice, that it's college or failure. That questioning it means you're not smart enough. But you do have a choice. You can look at real data instead of marketing. You can weigh costs against actual returns. You can explore alternatives that might leave you better off. You can refuse to participate in a system designed to extract your wealth and leave you drowning for decades. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud, but I will. For probably 30% to 40% of people currently enrolled, they'd be better off leaving right now, not finishing. The degree won't pay for itself. The debt will crush them. The opportunity cost is staggering. But they'll stay, because admitting you made a mistake is harder than continuing to make it. College isn't a scam for everyone, but it absolutely is for millions who were told it was their only option and are now spending their 20s and 30s making payments on degrees that didn't deliver. The question isn't whether college can be valuable. It's whether the specific program, at the specific price, for your specific situation, beats the alternatives. For a lot of people, it doesn't. So before you sign those loan documents, before you commit 4 years and 6 figures, before you believe the brochure with smiling students on perfect lawns, do the math, the real math, the brutal, honest math. Because in 20 years, when Maya makes her final payment at 47, when she's finally debt-free from a decision she made at 18, nobody from the university will call to check on her. Nobody will offer a refund because it didn't work out. Nobody will apologize for selling a product that failed. They already got paid. Maya's still out there, checking her bank balance, trying to figure out if she can afford dinner tonight. She did everything right. And she's drowning anyway. The system worked exactly as intended. If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your own story. I read every single one. And if you want more no BS breakdowns on money, success, and the systems we're told to trust, hit subscribe. Let's figure this out together.